10 Thursday night. We are the two average fantasy football guys. That's Rick. I'm DC. And we got another good game for Thursday night, just like last Thursday. Everything that we said came true. Mark Andrews, 2 touchdowns. Baltimore controlling the whole game against Miami. And Miami not being able to do anything. You heard it here from us.
That's right.
So we're going to give it to you the same this week with this matchup. We got the Oakland Raiders going to Denver. Right, Rick?
We do. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Last week, Miami tried to almost spoil our prediction, but they got off to a good start.
They did.
They turned the ball over, Washington in the end zone, in the red zone, the first possession. Second possession, they missed a field goal. And then they had another turnover. So it could have been closer, but the better team prevailed. So this week we have Denver at home against the Raiders of Las Vegas. Looks like the forecast is going to be about 56 degrees, partly cloudy at the Mile High Stadium. Bring your oxygen. Wind, hardly any wind, and rain. And it's a grass surface, so hopefully no bad injuries this week, Brian. What, you got any game notes for us, or what do you got for us?
I got some game notes. If you can see them on there, or Rick might be covering them up. That's all right, because you don't need to see them, because then you'll think that I got this memorized. And I don't. Over-under on this game is 42.5, and I would agree with that because of just, I think Denver, one, lives off their defense, and their offense can be explosive. They don't really need to be too explosive against the Raiders because they're not that good of an offensive team. However, I will say, now that Brock Bowers is back, we talked about this in the tight end rankings on our previous videos. With Brock Bowers in the lineup, the Raiders average 21.2 points per game, which is actually not really high. But, and he's not in the lineup, they average 8.7. That is just terrible there. So he makes a big difference being in the lineup, helps out Geno Smith. So they might have a little bit of life, but yet they go against the Broncos defense, which is one of the better defenses, especially against the pass and all that. So another good thing to look at is teams on a short rest after overtime. So the Raiders did play an overtime game on Sunday. Now they have a short rest, and they play a Thursday night game. That record is 26-47. Those are not good records. And Geno Smith is 0-7 in primetime games against divisional opponents. So this is almost like the Andy Dalton, being a Bengals fan, I have to reference it back to that. So I'm looking at, you should start J.K. Dobbins. The Raiders I have him as 21st against the run. I would sit Genty for this game. I just think it's a really bad matchup. If you have no choice, obviously you got to play him. You probably drafted him first or second round, so you're going to play him. But if you have an option in there, a sleeper, this might be a good week to sit this guy and start another option to try to maximize your points for the week. Sleeper, of course, is not really a sleeper anymore, but he's not the starter, but he's getting free plays and getting some touchdowns. R.J. Harvey was the high draft pick that they picked to kind of make this for them, kind of accelerate their offense. But that's about all I got for that right now. I don't know.
Yeah, the Raiders, you put on here, they average 21 points when Brock Bowers is in the lineup and 8 without. He is in the lineup. They traded Jacoby Myers, so he's going to probably be the focal point again. I hope they can score 21. I'm very doubtful they can this week. But last week he had 13 targets, 12 catches on 13 targets with 3 touchdowns and 127 yards.
Crazy.
So, with their only other receiver is Trey Tucker. He's their number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Then they signed Tyler Lockett as a free agent or something.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and he had no catches. So I'm really concerned who's going to be able to take up the slack in terms of receiving for Las Vegas. But I'm going to have to say Michael Myers is, because if you look at the snap counts, the Raiders run a 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set almost exclusively throughout the game. So we're only going to have 2 receivers out there, and we're going to have 2 tight ends. So Michael Myers is my sleeper of this game because I think he's probably going to have 6 targets, 7 targets at least, especially if they're playing catch up. He might have 10, who knows? And they're going to need somebody to step up. And I don't think at this age Tyler Lockett's quite ready to.
I don't think so either.
Denver also is number 1 against the opponent's wide receiver in fantasy in our league. So they're probably going to have the receivers locked down in this game. So it's going to be the Brock Bowers and the Meyer show, in my opinion. Denver, like you said, they're number 7 against the run in our league. So I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't even think the Raiders are going to score a touchdown.
It could be.
Just a couple crazy stats. Week 6, the Denver Broncos gave up -10 passing yards total in a game. In week 1, they gave up 62 passing yards total in a game. I think we're going to have something not that bad, but I think it's going to be something like that. I think the final score is going to be 6 LA and 20 Denver. I'm sorry, not LA. Las Vegas. And 20 Denver, and I obviously think that's going under. What do you got, Brian?
For the game, I have 27-10. The Broncos winning, and yeah, you could be right on that, Rick. I mean, 10's not that many, but this could be a blowout, and it could be Las Vegas, Oakland, LA, Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders just don't show up. I mean, these Thursday night games have been crazy. We talked about it last week. And you look through the history of Thursday night games, one team doesn't seem to show up. And what the stats kind of tell you is the team that's heavily favored is usually the one that doesn't show up. But Denver's just too solid of a team right now that they won't. And this win would be more important to them. Obviously with KC, they're 5-4, so they're a couple games back from them. It's a good chance for them to separate themselves from KC. So I think they come to play and they play good, and it's going to be not good for the Raiders.
I think it'll be an interesting game, though. And, I take it back. I say Las Vegas is actually going to have 7 points, not 6. So I'm going to give them one touchdown. Michael Mayer. That's who I'm. Michael Mayer. That's my mystery pick.
What do you got Broncos at?
Do you have a bold prediction in this one, Brian, like you did last Thursday? You gotta give us a little bit more. We're all been hanging on to what's coming next, Brian.
I know, man. I've been thinking about this all day, and I went and looked through the Magic 8 Ball and put myself in Mile High Stadium, and I say that there's going to be a big play in this game. It's going to come from Troy Franklin of the Broncos. He's going to catch a very long pass. I don't know the yardage because it's kind of cloudy in my head right now, but it is 67-yard touchdown pass for Troy Franklin.
Just one.
Just one.
Okay.
But he'll get some yardage too. He's kind of a big play guy or nothing. They have a good surrounding cast there, and I am interested to see what this Tyler Lockett at the Raiders. I mean, he is old. Reunited with Geno Smith. The Raiders just did trade Jacoby Myers. Why? I know he requested a trade, but that doesn't mean you have to give him a trade to leave your team just this vulnerable for stuff. I mean, Brock Bowers can't do it all. I mean, so that's why I think in this game it's like, okay, you can shut down the run because you're not scared of any of the wide receivers, and then you can kind of maybe bracket Bowers somehow, and you're leaving it to the second wide receiver.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
And it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to predict anything on that, but I'm curious how this Tyler Lockett kind of plays out.
I'm going to go one up and say that Franklin has 2 touchdowns.
Damn, he's got a one-up me. He's got a one-up me.
No, not really. I'm not saying it's a long one, but I think that he will end up with 2 touchdowns because they're another team that, I don't know, Mims didn't play last week. I don't know if he's healthy this week or not. But they really only had 2. They ran a 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set for the majority of the game last week. So I think you're going to see a lot of that, a lot of running, and I think that's going to be 20-7. 2 touchdowns Franklin, 1 touchdown Meyer.
I like it. Another thing to watch out for this game is the Max Crosby, Bo Nix kind of conflict. I don't know if you followed that, but Max Crosby sent something out on social media, and Bo Nix came back pretty pretty footed to the ground of like, he ain't backing down from it, and it's kind of odd, but let's see if Max Crosby makes sure he gets a good hit on Bo Nix.
Yeah, you don't want to give him locker room material,
Yeah.
that's for sure, especially not if you have no wide receivers.
So the other thing is, I predict that Max Crosby will have a roughing the passer
No.
penalty within the first series.
Beyond the game. I think Juwan Johnson told him that earlier in the week. Good luck.
That's going to do us for this week. Look forward to more content from Rick and BC. I think we're not going to be doing the play-by-play for every game this week. We're going to put that on hold. But we will try to release as much content to give you guys an advantage over your other so-called experts. This is the only place you need to come to.
Keep the questions coming on Facebook. Make them public. That's the best way to do it. But some of you have already gotten some advice, and I think it's paid off. So for the rest of you, give it a try.
It's free advice too.
Yeah, well, for now.
For now. And we're still looking for...
We got to get you hooked first.
We're looking for a producer, cameraman, lighting coordinator, what do we need? Editor.
Editor, sound effects.
We need someone to turn us on
And,
agendas.
our personal assistants too.
Makeup artists.
Personal assistants. We need personal assistants.
Yes.
Wardrobe.
Just hit us up in the comments or something, or if you don't want it to be public, you can just contact us privately. We won't expose you, but it would be nice to get some help.
Brian, you're going to be on vacation the next couple of weeks, or at work.
I have work commitments the next 2 weeks, so I will be vacant, or we'll maybe do like a Zoom or some weird thing that we can at least preview something.
Yes,
for these people.
Because after all, we have jobs. If you need a car, you come see me. If you need anything else, you go see him. If you need a mailbox, a sweet mailbox bill, you should see this guy's mailbox. The best in the neighborhood.
Best one in the neighborhood.
Guaranteed.
All right, thank you.